Chatting with Cherubs.
Hello and welcome to Chatting with Cherubs with me, Josh Jones, and the amazing
Gearóid Farrelly, and we are here with the fantastic
Morgan Rees. How we doing, everyone? We all good?
Good.
Yeah, good.
I tell you what, I'm really good because I got to see the funniest fucker ever, Josh Jones, on Wednesday at the Leicester Square Theatre.
Thank you very much.
Thank
you.
You're bloody good. You're good at that comedy, lad. You know,
Thank
you're not
you,
bad.
mate. I think it's my best show. Yeah, it was good, and we went and got a little bit pissed after.
A little bit. I was a bit more pissed than I thought, so apologies for that.
Well, this is the thing when you drink with people after your show. I did it in Salford with my family and when Gearóid was there, and with you. Because I don't really drink after shows, I go straight home. But I thought, all right, I'm in London, I've got guests and stuff. And so we went and had a drink, but I think you were already half cut by the time I got there.
Yeah, big time. I've been out with my dad. Yeah. I remember my dad was supposed to come to the show, but if my dad eats, he falls asleep within 5 minutes. I don't think I've told you this, Gearóid. I think I told you this on the night, but I don't think you remembered. Me and my dad went out for drinks, then we went for a meal, and we're like, then we'll go and see Josh. My dad popped to the toilet, and he was gone ages. 5 minutes went by, 10 minutes by, and then 15 minutes went by. And I went, where the hell is Dad? We're going to be late for this show. It turns out he'd fallen asleep on the toilet.
But like father, like son, because what happened on the way home?
Oh, God, yeah. I fell asleep on the night bus.
Oh, no. That's the worst nightmare.
I woke up in Enfield Town.
Oh, no.
I don't know where that is, but
very
it sounds
North London.
far
You even
away.
past the North Circular, just a little bit more, you're out of London, even Greater London.
Woke up in Yorkshire.
I woke up on the... I'm getting prodded by this man that just goes, end. I was like, oh, sorry. I immediately work out what's happened. And I look at my phone. And I say, oh, my God, it's 2:30. Dies. My phone just dies in my hand. And the bus driver's already gone. I was like, I've got to get home.
Did you have a card as well, or did you pay for everything on your phone?
Everything on my phone.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
So, and it was freezing, about -4. And so I was just like, well, I guess I've just got to walk until I've got to walk home because I've got no way of paying for a bus. I've got no way of charging my phone. And so
I bet you sobered up, though.
Oh, I sobered up. And the only thing I had on, it was a 2-hour walk home.
No.
And I tell you what, I was really impressed that I got home via signs.
That's so impressive.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
Fucking
I would
Bear Grylls over here.
Yeah. I'd just be like, oh, well, I guess I just live here now. I just need to make a life for myself in Enfield.
Because I left you at 1 o'clock, something like that.
Yeah. And I was on the bus within minutes. It was only around the corner.
So you must have been on the bus for ages. And
I was asleep on the bus for an hour and a half.
Yeah, and then because I was starving as well, so I don't know. You must have been hungry, but you couldn't afford to buy anything.
Starving. I was because I told myself, "Do not get a McDonald's, Morgan. Get home. Do not get a McDonald's." And I sat on the bus so happy that I hadn't bought a McDonald's.
And then fell asleep.
I woke up an hour and a half in a different town.
And how long did it take you to get home?
2 hours.
Oh, God.
But this is where I must have looked mental, and I don't know why a million people didn't call the police for a welfare check. The only thing I had on me was a Kindle, so to kill the time, I just read my book all the way home. And
Do you have your card or anything on a Kindle, or is a Kindle just a book?
No.
It's just a book. So to everyone, it was just this drunk man walking in the middle of the street, reading a book at 2:30 in the morning.
Oh no, that's the worst.
I genuinely think 7 minutes in, I would have traded that Kindle for a Big Mac. I would have got in Mackey's and be like, take the Kindle. Take the Kindle. Give me food. Take the Kindle.
But again, like, I was so far out of London. It wasn't like the chicken shops weren't open, like nothing was open. So I couldn't even go like, hey man, could you please help me charge my phone? I just had to walk.
There was no way you could have just like hailed a taxi and said, hey, could you charge my phone?
And there was no taxis, and the ones that were Ubers. So it was like,
you need a phone.
God,
to
you
get
need a phone. Oh
Yeah.
God. Oh no. This is awful.
you
When's your
ever had
birthday? I'm
something
buying you
like
a
that?
portable charger.
have you ever had like where you've just woken up on the end of the line or had
when I
weird
lived
ways
in
home?
When I lived in London, I woke up on the night bus, and I think that was after a night out with you.
It happened to me a couple of times in London when I was just scrolling, you know, and then you miss a couple of stops, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm screwed now. I don't know where I'm going now." One, because then you've got to when you go off the map, the route of the map.
Yeah.
So you're like, "Oh, I don't know where I am. I don't know what I need to do. I can't remember the number bus I'm on." Oh, it's disastrous.
Yeah, I think
it's really hard.
This is honestly why I try not to leave my house. There's just less drama when you stay in your house.
Yeah.
And it's warm.
Oh God, yeah. Janik was furious when I got in. I mean, there was a second of sympathy, and then my cold body touched his warm body, and he was immediately furious.
He should have got up and run you a bath and made you a hot chocolate.
He looked after me so well, like wrapped me up. I got waters and everything. But he was like, I've been up since the moment you got in.
I think that James, if I was missing past like 1 o'clock, because 1 o'clock is my limit now. We was out till like 1, and I was like, I have to leave this place.
Oh, that's my limit as well.
Yeah, so I was like,
I have a rule: no fun after 1. I don't think anything fun has happened after 1 o'clock in the morning.
So then I was like, right, I need to get food and go. But I think if I was in Manchester and that happened and my phone died and I didn't get in till 4, I think James would be like phoning the police. He'd be like, where is it? Because he knows that I will never try and not be home.
Yeah. It's just, I always think that no matter how good a night is, if the journey from wherever you were having the fun to home is in any way disrupted, the whole night just was not worthwhile.
And I had a few drinks, but I wasn't drunk because I started drinking after my show. So I started drinking well later on.
Yeah.
So I was just hungry. at nights out now, I don't think I ever have more than 4 drinks on a night out, really. And that's me going on a big one. Even when we was at the Fringe, and was like, let's have a fucking massive one. I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
We had a massive Chinese, and then we all had half a plate,
Yeah.
and then went home. We were drunk during the record.
Now, I will say, I did the night before your Salford show.
You went out.
I went out with my friend Ben, who is like also, he's a Manchester music guy called Minute Taker. He's incredible. New album, whatever. He's absolutely amazing. But we went out in Liverpool, and oh, good God.
It was a big.
Liverpool's a wild night.
I was absolutely trashed.
It just doesn't appeal to me. My friends, I got invited to something and they wanted to like, let's meet at like 7. And then it was like, then we'll go here, we'll be like out all night. And then there was like, and I had to put in the group, I was like, excuse me, no one's put any plans for food. You want me to be out from 7 till after 11, 7 till midnight, and I don't get a meal? Shut up. I'm not coming.
Yeah.
I'm not coming. That's shit.
I'll be honest with you, Josh, when you said all night, I didn't think you meant until 11.
Yeah.
I thought...
Yeah, that sounded like a rollover. And but instead you're in bed before 12.
But they was mentioning bars that don't even do food. Like, I don't need a meal, but like, I can eat before. But if I start drinking at 7, by 9, I'll be peckish. I need like bar snacks. And I don't mean crisp, I mean like tapas.
Well, on that night out, we were very clear about what was happening. Well, Ben was. He was like, we're going out and we're going dancing. Like, it's proper. It's not going to be just like stand around. It's like proper, we are hitting the dance floor. And I was like, okay. And I have said did it. And like, I've forgotten how much fun it is, like a night of dancing and then like you know, a burger on the way home.
Never, and we'll never do it again.
You'll never go dancing. Listen to yourself, Josh.
Oh, come on.
Is this footloose all of a sudden? Are you going to criminalise?
There's no dancing in this house. Get your Bibles out. There's no dancing. It's against God. I hate nightclubs. I hate them. I don't mind a nightclub if I can sit down and I'm on by 12. I don't want to be out.
What about a disco bar? Yeah.
That where we went, that Q bar.
Yeah.
I've been in there before and I was fine there because I had a table. And I can chat. And I'm sorry, I'm a boring fuck, but I don't like unsing. It's not for me.
No, you see, I hate bars that lure you in with like the pop music, and then all of a sudden around 11:30 it just goes. You know, yeah. I want pure pop from start to finish.
Yeah, right, like Nana dancing. Like, yeah, if I'm at a wedding and it's like no, but I mean like if it's a bit of Diana Ross or something like that, then I'll be like, all right, something I can sing along to. But as soon as it
pop.
Soon as it's a song after 2012, I don't want to be there. I do not want to be there.
See, I do like house music, and I do like the, but you have to sign up to that. That is like, you have to, no one's going like, oh, on a whim, hey, should we just go and listen to the most aggressive music, migraine inducing thing ever? It is something you go like, okay, today I'm gonna uns.
Yeah, but don't lure me in with Little Mix.
No, I hear that.
Yeah.
But there's loads of great dancing spaces, because I do hear that no one likes a bar. No one wants to go to Tiger. No one wants to go to Oceana. And like probably those bars are outdated now. There's probably a new version of it. But there's great little dance halls. There's like the Northern Soul clubs and Motown nights. They're all over the place. They're still there. Now, I think you would have a great time dancing with that.
No, I don't think I would. I don't think
fair fucks, never mind.
I think I would for half an hour. But a night of dancing, fuck off. I'd be so hungry. I'd be so hungry.
Well, we'll give you some oranges for half time and them some gel packs.
Yeah, we get a lad to rub your calf muscles. A man with a towel over his neck to rub your calf muscles and send you back in for the second half.
I'm happy us free going out and doing that. And then when you want to have your dancing, I'll mind the bags. I don't give a shit, me.
We'll just keep sending nachos over to you.
I'll be eating in the corner. I'll make a mate. I'll find another lazy bastard who just wants to eat chips in the corner. I don't give a fuck.
You'll be like like when your parents used to take you down, like maybe like the ice rink or to a football game, and they would just sit at the side and watch them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You'll be the parent at the park while me and Gearóid are on the monkey bars.
Yeah, be like, there's my boys. They're my boys.
When I was a kid, we used to go to an ice rink in Phibsborough that it used to, like, you'd skate on it and it would melt. So you would actually be like, it was just, you're in a little pool basically. But when you would go, like when you'd start at like maybe 2:00 on a Saturday afternoon, you'd see that there's all like the crisp packets from the previous day were all like frozen into the ice. Oh,
but I think you two would have a really good night out without me. And I won't be jealous. I don't want to be there. I don't want to go.
This feels like a deathbed conversation where you're just like, move on, boys.
Yeah.
Josh, why have you got that hat on? Is all your hair gone?
Do you know, it's because my hair's a mess. Do you know my favourite thing? I love day drinking and food. So
have you been to one of those day raves? They're supposed to be amazing.
They are incredible.
I like to sit down and drink. Stop trying to make me rave. I don't want to rave. I'm not a raver.
Yeah, but we're just firing out ideas and talking about it. And you're just shooting it.
But no, your ideas are trying to make me do stuff I don't want to do. I can sit down and shimmy. I'll sit down and shimmy.
The two mums shoulders. Sherry shimmer.
Yeah. Well, I love a little shoulder dance.
I can't wait to see you and James's first dance. It'll be the first wedding, first dance where they both sat down shimmying.
Yeah. Just one shoulder.
Yeah, so for our first dance, we're doing musical chairs.
Oh
I'm a big advocate for the day rave. And if someone wants to dip their toe into raving, I really recommend a day rave because you are home by 8 p.m. and you can have like if you don't. You can literally have a takeaway. You don't ruin your next day. 'Cause I don't think things should be starting at midnight.
No. Do you remember when you used to pre-drink and to get to somewhere for 11 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
That's fucking insanity. That's why I think comedy's such a good night out when you get a little bit older, because you're like, all right, it's done by 10:30 latest.
Yeah. And even that, I think comedy should start about 2 hours earlier. I think comedy should start around 6 or 7 rather than 8.
Yeah, I totally agree. This idea of like, if you're closing a show, going on stage at like 10 o'clock, fuck that.
Yeah. I get it on a Friday you have to go on later because they've come from work and they need to get food.
I know as I get older, I'm going to have the support go on after me. I'm getting on the road. I'm leaving it in very safe hands.
But yeah, having a show done by my show last night would all wrapped up by 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
lovely.
No,
I know. The older and older I get, the earlier and earlier my tour shows are going to be. I know by the time when I do my last tour, I know you can come to my tour show and afterwards go to the post office. That's just going to be like.
Oh God. You did an audition this week, Morgan. How did that go?
It went all right, you know. It was a bit of a... All right, if there's any casting directors that listen to this, you might not like this, but it was clear... I won't say who it was for, but it was clearly written by AI, this script, because it was no punctuation. These sentences would never be said, and it just didn't make sense.
I didn't write it. I worked hard on that script.
Yeah, but it was it was a bit tough as well, because as well, like I appreciate this might not be relatable at all to any non-actors out there, but I really hate it because you have to get someone in to read the other lines. So not only are you working for free, you have to rope a friend or a family member to work for free as well, and you will never get through a self-tape without a row. That's just never happening.
Never.
And something's gonna break. So all my characters are furious in my self-tape.
My mum
really short fused and eggy.
My mum really went for it when I did one with her. I asked her to read the other lines and she was like, do you like when a primary school teacher reads to the kids? And it's like, just say the line. I think she was trying to get cast.
Yeah. What about you, Gearóid?
I did an in the room audition this week.
Oh wow.
Oh God almighty. I've never been so nervous in my life. I mean, I don't think I got it. God almighty. I went in and you know the way like when you prepare for a self-tape, you know the lines, but you always fluff the first couple of ones anyway.
Yeah.
But that was the audition.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're in and you get like 2 shots and like, oh, it's done. But I was so nervous. Like, and also when I went, you know the way you get it and it's like the character description. And like they sent it over and they were like, now just ignore the character description because they're broadening it out. And then I read the character description and it was like slim, handsome, 30s, charismatic.
Just ignore that.
Yeah, it's like no. They'll see you as well. They'll see you as well.
They're broadening it out.
I was fuming.
Yeah. We were looking for someone charismatic.
He could be a munter as well, though. They're being very inclusive.
My lord, it's so weird. But how did the actual audition itself go?
I was just so nervous. Like I was was so nervous. And also it was just like, because I got the lines wrong, then I wasn't sure where to look. And oh my God, it was just, it was embarrassing.
I had one, they ask you for some mad stuff in self-tapes and auditions that you just go, Uber Eats one at the moment when there's a man on a rock and there's loads of tentacles and he's topless. I went for that as well.
Did you?
Yeah, and I remember them in the self-tape going, okay, so pretend you've got 12 tentacles. You're like, what are you on about?
I know.
I've got 2 arms maxed.
Yeah.
I know. I remember going for one that was a fork.
You were a fork.
A barbecue fork.
Twice I've auditioned for 2 different peas.
And were they different characters?
Yeah, from different things.
I love the fact out there, there's in 2 separate independent meetings. They went, who would
Josh
be
Jones.
a good P?
Josh Jones.
Yeah.
2 independent groups of people went, Josh Jones.
One audition was for a children's TV show as an evil P, which I think every comedian I know kind of auditioned for at that.
Yeah.
And then one was recently for an advert. But yeah, both was a voiceover for a P.
I think you're going to be cast as the next Alphaba.
Yeah.
You're the green boy.
You got it. Because like in-person ones as well. I did one where they were running so far behind that there was 2 people in the scene. They were supposed to have audition person A, get through all the A's, then do B. And then after a little while, they went, oh, hey, so we're so far behind, so we're just going to pair you guys up now and you come in.
Oh, God.
And you're like, all right. But I had this woman who was in such a nervous state because it was in the spotlight offices and there was a problem with the stairs, so you could only take the elevator, but she was claustrophobic. And I had gone up in the elevator with her. I could see her sort of pacing up and down by the elevator. I said, is everything all right? She went, oh, I'm claustrophobic and the stairs are done. I said, okay, well, I tell you what, I'll come in with you and you can just hold my hand and just do whatever you need to get up there. And then when I tell you, the moment the doors shut, she screamed and screamed and screamed. So I walked into the audition with this woman in my hand screaming and crying. It looked like everyone's looking at me going, what did you say to her in the elevator?
You're too good, Morgan. You should have just got rid of the competition. You're like, you're afraid of everything. Fuck off. Go home.
Couldn't they put her in one of those window cleaning
On the outside,
lifts? Yeah, those outside.
Up.
Yeah, the outside window cleaning lifts.
That is so fun. So they all probably thought that you were like attacked her in the lift or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was grabbing her, get out of here. Get out of here. Stop crying. Stop your noise.
Thank you for listening to Chatting with Cherubs. So we do the bonus episode every Tuesday, and just to give you a little insight, we make 0 money from this podcast, and we want to change that. So from the 2nd of December, we are going to be putting the bonus episode on a Patreon. To get that, you can pay £3 a month, £3 a month on the Patreon. Also, it's just, if you want to support us, if you do listen to it every month, £3 a month would be perfect. But we're only giving £3 a month to the first 200 subscribers. After that, it'll be a £5 a month. And there's an option for a £10 a month. You don't get anything extra, but if you really want to be bougie and help us out, that'd be great. But yeah, we've been doing this podcast for a while, and we would like to not do it for completely free anymore. So please sign up, £3 a month. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
I remember when in Dancing with the Stars, like when I started to get a bit fit from it, like about week 8, they were doing this like Latin group number, and all of they were all in these like suits, and they couldn't get a shirt looked right, like the shirt that fit me wasn't right, and they were like, and I was like, because Stephen then, because he's a bit ripped, he had like a no top under his jacket. So they tried the jacket on me, and there was no top on. I was like, I can do the jacket with no top, like underneath, because I thought it looked really good. And the wardrobe person was like, just going to call someone. And then I went out, and then someone else went in, and there was just like, and then they were like, no, we're not doing that. We're not. It was like, they were very clear that wasn't going on television. Yeah. And also there was one week where I was wearing something low cut on my chest. And I think because there was like, you know, I'm a tufty boy. Yeah. But it's not an even tuft. I think they were like,
yeah, like a dog with fleas.
You look like something that Josh would rescue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be getting butcher sausages and truffle oil because my last owner treated me badly.
Like a weathered carpet.
All right, okay. These are coming way too quickly, if you don't mind me saying.
Speaking of flights, I was reading this story this week. Apparently, France are introducing fines for unruly passengers of up to €20,000.
Oh wow! What do you have to do to be unruly now?
Well, I looked it up.
I know, yeah. Could it be a bit of like, don't eat sprouts and then get on the plane?
Yeah. If you have a smelly fart on the flight,
€20.
20.
But if they're French people, they'll be like, oh, I don't like that jacket, 20 grand fine.
Yeah. But it is for disrupting the crew for doing their safety procedures. But the big one, using electronic devices during parts of the flight where it's forbidden. So I'm guessing like flight up, flight down. But I guess that also means like playing things out loud, etc.
Or maybe not using airplane mode.
Yeah,
possibly. But
I remember being on a plane once, and some woman were like next to me, and you could tell she looked thick, right? And she was like, she was on the phone going, "I can't hear you, I'm on the plane." I was like, oh no, this plane's going down. He's like, I've not got good signal, can't hear, I'm on the plane.
that's like going 2 seconds of just coming up to a roundabout.
Yeah.
I was on a delayed flight a while ago, and there was this woman. I was at the window, and there was a woman, and then there was this woman's husband, and they were very Midlands, and the woman just started talking to me, and she did this real whingy voice, and then she went, "I'm getting very worried about Francis's bowel." And I was like, "I'm not sure it's your concern. Like, I mean, what?" And she was like, "He had an operation, and it's just, I feel like now we're on the ground for a very long time." And I was like, "Are you telling me that he's going to shit himself? Like, is that what you're saying?" Like, I feel like you're being very calm for something this extreme.
Oh my God.
But I think some people could be just like so blasé about like big things. I remember I was in a charity shop once in Bristol, and an old woman walked in who clearly must have been a regular there. And because the person behind the till went, "Oh, hi, sailor, what's news?" She went, "Oh, Gary died." Because she said it as if like her team had lost or the bins didn't get taken. "Oh, Gary died." It was like, no.
But it could have been someone she
Gary
didn't
dying.
It might have been someone she didn't like.
It could be.
Yeah, it might have been like, oh, Gary died next door.
Actually, you know where I live? There's a chemist beside it.
Yeah.
Yeah, underneath is a chemist. When I first moved in there, it used to be like, it was baby clothes, basically, is what it sold, right? And there was a woman that ran the shop. And I was in there one day, and she was talking to her friend that also worked there, and they were talking about how her boyfriend had walked out on her. Mm-hmm. So I was looking for a present for my nephew, and I was just like, I'm going to just get the story here. And basically it turned out that your woman kept rats. She liked rats and like snakes and all these horrible stuff. But her boyfriend was afraid of all that stuff, and he was also allergic to rats.
But then she's going touching baby clothes after
I know,
touching all these rats.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
she picked up the rat and she put it on his face when he was asleep.
No, I'd
so he
leave.
left her. Like,
I'd leave.
But also his face had swollen up because the rat, like.
Yeah, that's not funny. I'd leave.
But she was explaining, and she was talking about what a dick he was. It's like she's only having a bit of fun playing with her rat, and she loves her rat. And
That's someone that will never see themselves, is
I
it?
know.
No.
It's like
If
the
you
lack
can't
of
hear
self-awareness
yourself.
is a skill.
Yeah, that's awful. Can I
Well
tell
done.
you about? I'm going to tell you about. Well, so I saw this thing online, but I think it's something that's been like resurfaced because I thought it was a new story, but it ended up being from like 2016. But I want to tell you anyway. There is a thing about a couple who, on their first date, robbed a bank.
Now, do you think that's something they pre-planned or did something on the fly?
No, I think they were like, she picked him up and then he said, like, on the way to some, can we go and this bank? And then he robbed $1,000 from the bank, went in with a gun and then got back.
Went in with a gun.
And then got back in the car and they went for, and then she was driving. She was his getaway driver. But yeah, this couple went and robbed a bank on a first date, but I don't think she knew anything about it.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so she just then became a getaway driver. So I think she ended up getting away with it and not getting charged.
She's probably back on the apps now, and it's like Abigail, fun-loving girl, but rolls with the punches.
But because the thing came up online and it put the mug shots, I thought it was the same person, but after a transition. Before I read the mugshot, they looked exactly the same. So I thought it was going to be a story about someone doing a crime, transitioning, and then doing the crime again. But it wasn't.
They won't get me this time.
Yeah, but they were on a date.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
By the way, he did that on purpose, where he was like, "Oh, if she really looks like me, she could be a distraction."
Yeah.
Like if we get pulled over, I can jump out and they think it's just me.
Yeah, if they're like, why is he kissing his twin sister? They won't.
Yeah, they might not notice the machete and the bag of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might not recognize the tractor pulling out the ATM.
Yeah. That tractor pulling out an ATM cash machine thing is, I only saw that on the news first time a couple of years ago. And I think I told you and you said, yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time. People pulling out ATMs with tractors.
That's mad.
It's just people that put on a high vis and get a forklift and nobody questions them.
But like, how are you going to get away with that? Because it's quite easy to follow the tractor with the cash machine on the back. They're not
you
known
take the
for
cash
going
out of it
fast.
eventually, don't you? I mean, like it's that.
Yeah, but I mean, it must take a while to open a cash machine.
Well, they'll have the whole system streamlined by that point. The moment they set that thing down, it's being cracked open by 8 people. You know.
Yeah.
Not speaking from any experience. Don't ask me how this room's so nice.
I can't.
Patreon pays for it.
I tried to rob when I was younger. I remember going in a shop and I tried shoplifting like a Kit Kat or whatever, and I just burst out laughing. I was like, I literally can't do it. I can't do it.
That would be so funny, Josh going into the bank with a gun and then just laughing. I can't, it's too funny. I'm sorry.
He's just laughing. I think that would be scarier rather than someone coming in and go, put your fucking hands up, get on the fucking ground. It was a Mancunian gay comic walking in with a gun that can't stop laughing. God, he could pull that trigger at any moment. No, seriously, put the money in the bag.
Yeah, just pack it at the back. Say what you want about me. I'm a good laugh. Thank you so much for listening to Chatting with Cherubs. If you enjoyed the show, please like and follow so you don't miss an episode. And also, if you could leave us a lovely review, that would be really nice. I am on tour at the moment. My show's called Gearóid Rage. It's in the UK in January, and we've added extra dates in Liverpool, Manchester and Brighton. And you can get info on gearóidfarrelly.com.
Hello. My next tour dates, next week, I'm in Newcastle. I'm filming the show in Newcastle. Then after that, I'm in Glasgow, Edinburgh and Aberdeen. All next week. You can get tickets at joshjonescomedy.com. And I've added 18 more dates for next year. They're all around the north, apart from, I'm in North Wales as well, so that counts as a North banger. But then my only southern dates and the extra dates are Cardiff and Bath. But apart from that, all around the north of England. So get tickets at joshjonescomedy.com. Morgan.
Brilliant. And I'm on tour, but not until the end of next year. I'm going on a show called What a Bummer. You can buy the tickets at morganreescomedy.com. It'd be great to see you there. But otherwise, yes, do please like, share, comment. It really, really helps on this podcast, sends up the algorithm. And also, if you fancy supporting us, we are on Patreon for just as little as £3 a month, but not many though, because it's only £3 for the first 200 subscribers. So I'd get in quick now. But anywho, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks again, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Chatting with Cherubs.